Hold on. Welcome to another exciting installment of the Terrorisk podcast. I'm with Jdaflame.
Hey, what's good?
Yeah. Just chilling. What were you doing all day today?
Saturday, bro. Woke up, played some video games so I can get my adrenaline pumping, my cognitive mind pumping. Cleaned up and shit.
Yeah.
We lit right now talking. How about you, bro?
Honestly, I was doing a lot of the same. I was talking to my special lady friend. I also played some video games. I cleaned up the apartment. I'm wondering if I should go out and drink tonight. I don't know if I'm going to. I might. I just might. But other than that, yeah, I'm glad I was able to catch up with you at least for the hour or two just to talk and chop it up.
What's up, bro?
Did you listen to the last episode that I just posted with you?
Somewhat. I listened to it while I was at work, but like I was at work.
Yeah, no, it's all good. It was all right. I mean, it's just I really gotta I gotta start figuring out a way to like streamline, because like, you know, if I'm doing it with other people, I have to also go by their schedules, and since I'm gonna start going back to the dojo on a regular basis, I have to like go back to like, you know, like being like a time Nazi. You know, I have to like really organize shit a lot better, especially if I'm gonna go back to like, because I haven't released any new music live performances in a while, so I still got to do that. I got something cooking up for that. It's just it's a matter of fucking doing it, and I don't think this one's gonna be hard though. This one should be easy.
What, like a live show, like with your music, like a live set type of thing? Is that what you're saying, or just scheduling?
I mean, by live set, like usually that means like a whole hour long fucking thing. That's not what I'm talking. I'm talking like, you know, like a 2-3 minute like little thing, like a whole song performance. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
I actually just got. Hold on, right quick. Hold on. I didn't just get this. My girlfriend got this for me. Hold on. I gotta look for this. Hold on. My desk is just filled up. So I got one of these. These things, Launchpad for Ableton and stuff.
Yeah.
It doesn't work as a drum. Well, I actually got some.
I know. I have a Launchpad. Like I know everything I know everything a Launchpad can do.
How do you feel about it?
What?
You have a Launchpad, and what else do you have?
I have all sorts of. I have a lot of shit. I have a lot of gear that I'm never gonna fucking use.
Nah, I feel it, bro. That's how it gets with music. The whole thing with that though, because I've even been I got like some songs aside, like projects that I want to play on this with Ableton, just like instrumental shit. That's it. I
know. There's all right. So there's different kinds of units, right? I mean, a MIDI controller to me is literally just a MIDI controller. Like, yeah, I mean, it's great, it's useful to have, but if you don't have like a specific function in mind for it, then it's just going to be like a brick sitting on your shelf. I mean, MIDI controllers are great. I think there's always going to be use cases for it, especially for live performances and production, which is why they're great. They could be used for both ends. I think they're good for like if you have like a whole modular set, and you know you want like an extra keyboard or something to control your synths with. You're gonna need a fucking controller for it.
You know what's crazy? I never got a MIDI keyboard until like 2-3 years ago.
That's fine.
Out of like 10 to 12 years of producing and stuff.
I was never a big MIDI controller guy. I was into more standalone units like the Machine and the MPC. Like I'm like, a MIDI controller is great, but because it's cheap.
That's still MIDI, but yeah, I get what you mean though. I mean, it's still more of a drum machine. I wasn't even. Well, my computer keyboard all my life was basically the drum machine. If you get what I mean. I don't know if you use FL Studio that way, but because that's the first started producing on a desktop and a laptop, and that's it for years.
That's fine.
So like, in a way, the keyboard was my I got used to it. I'm like, that's all I need. I can hit. You know what I'm saying? But and then music theory wise, I just clicked in notes over time until I got good at like, you know, being able to compose. But I don't know. It's cool. There's so much equipment out there. But like you said, if you just have to have a purpose in mind for what you're using it for.
Yeah, and because the thing is, like, to build up like modular setups like that, like even no matter whether you do like 12 separate units or whether it's only like a handful, like 2, 3, or 4, no matter what, like if you're gonna put something like that together, you got to have a few different skills. That's really why it's hard. It's not that you have to be an expert at one skill set, one little skill to like make that work. You have to at least know enough about like multiple little things to be able to do stuff like that. Like you have to know electronics. You have to know like like output and input signal chains, signal processing chains. You have to
you either learn that fundamentally or just like plugging shit in.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Like, if you're just gonna, it depends on how accurate you want shit and how precise you want things. Because like anybody can just like make a bunch of things play at once. But if they're all running on their own like clocks, especially if it's like you know, like a sequenced pattern playing over and over again, that's one thing. Or if you want to actually play your shit, it's not like you would press play. You would just actually push the buttons in time with the music that you want to make. That's different. You know, that's not the same as like sequencing, because sequencing is you have the patterns laid out and the sequences you want and the scenes you want them in.
Sequencing is like new age version of like writing sheet music.
No, it's not like that at all. I think it's like it's a little. It's
when you just in the project file and you're just like putting all the blocks together how you want the song to go. That's what I'm thinking of sequencing, unless you mean something else.
Yeah, like all right.
When you're putting intro, your chorus, your verse, intro.
Yeah, but I'm saying like not using a computer to do that.
Okay. Well, I think the only difference between that's basically because there's that aspect of there's the aspect of playing the music, and then there's the aspect of creating it.
No, I mean, I'm saying like both. Like, you know,
yeah.
Like both.
But
like
there is those there's overlay with that because they have I was gonna say because they have people release albums, and it was like the album was like, you know, it wasn't the studio recording, it was like the live recording of it. But yeah, no, I get exactly what you mean. But I was gonna say, because it's like I was at a beat competition. I was in a beat competition. Some dude just had an MPC. That's it.
Yeah.
Everyone was just playing their MP3s. We all playing our MP3s. He came out with the MPC, snap, killed it. But played basically a whole song. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's not, you know, that. I mean, that's like its own thing. You know, it's not like you're gonna be able to do that. You're not gonna be able to emulate that complete style of playing just from like having like Ableton open on your fucking MacBook. And at the same time, you're not going to be able to go that full spectrum of sounds if you're just playing in like an analog setting with a guitarist, a bassist, and a drummer. It's kind of somewhere in between. And it takes a meta perspective of not like composing. It's not composing, it's performing. There's a difference between composing and performing. Composing, you're not on a clock. With composing,
are you going to like the aspects of just combining electronic, digital music?
Okay, so there's different ways to do that. For example, if you give me like a drum machine, a synth, another synth for the bass, and a loop pedal or a loop function or something that could loop all of it together.
Yeah.
Then I could like let's start with the drum machine. I just push kick, 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 or something, and then it'll play that pattern, and then I'll loop on like hats. And I could do all of this live. I could do this like like at once. Just push play where there's nothing playing, and then build a song. Like everything together, and then and at moments just mute certain parts, so it's essentially like a whole different thing playing, and maybe unmute another layered one that was muted before, and that's how you switch parts. Now what I'm saying is we don't, like, this isn't the fucking 80s anymore, you know. We don't need to do all that shit like sound by sound, specific instrument by specific instrument, to take like fucking 15 minutes to build like the point of your song in a live set. Yeah. Now you have presets. Now you have pre-saved patterns. Now you have something like my MPC or my machine, you know, where it's like it's a DAW in a box. It's not like a bunch of different boxes trying to like work together to do what a DAW does. It's literally a DAW in a single box. Now what happens if you take
those aspects though? Because it's just like, you know, Linkin Park, even their like production style. The MPC was included with that.
So, like, yeah. There's a lot of ways to use an MPC. Some people just use it as a sampler. Some people use it as a what?
Because to me, it's just like, I remember, at least when I DJ, there was this argument about CDJ DJs. I know that's not the same thing you're saying. What? The CD DJs that just use CDJs, and then DJs that use laptops. Yeah. I'm just like, the laptop, whatever you're using, Serato Tractor, it's just like looking at the CDJ screen. It's the same shit. But I understand though, that aspect of it. But the that was one thing with EDM when I was making EDM music. I didn't really want to DJ and stuff. I did exactly what you're doing was like the moral route I kind of like respected. I don't even want to just say respect, but I just like I thought you could get more in depth and still like make music as opposed to just like playing your music but then other people's music as well.
Yeah, that's. I don't think there's anything. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think.
Oh, no, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with it. It's just two separate. I love DJing too. There's an super art form of that. Like,
see, because I also DJ. You know, I do that too.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I understand where I can understand where you're coming
the problem
from
is like everything you just referenced, like DJing, using a DAW, using drum machines, all that shit. The problem is all of that stuff is too close knit in a singular part of the spectrum. Yes, there's like a lot of diversity to everything I just said, but it's still too grouped together. My advantage, the reason why I understand more of like that spectrum beyond that is because I didn't just do that. I wasn't just resigned to making music with machines and technology. I made actual music. Like I sat there with friends.
That's my whole point. But that's my whole point because there are Excision branched out into doing something like that.
I'm just saying, look, it's at some point like you have to like you can't. There's no ifs, ands, or you're going to be missing something pivotal as a person who makes music if you literally don't go through like a year to 5 years just like regularly getting musicians together and learning how to play with them with fucking instruments. Like basically like you got to know how to make music if I take your fucking laptop away or if I take your technology away. Like you got to learn.
I played in an orchestra, bro. That shit was lit.
I'm not talking about that. Like I'm talking about like playing something that's truly your own with like a small handful of musicians.
Created from scratch. Well, I didn't.
It's not hard. It's like if you got a drummer behind the kit, I
don't think. Well, that just to be honest though, that still kind of does depend on because some people really can't look at the grand scheme. I mean, if you're talking about bands and stuff.
I'm just saying you don't have to make it anything more than I said it was. It's literally the act of getting like just a small group of solid dudes. One's a drummer, one's a bassist, one's a guitarist, and one's good on the mic. If you get all of that together and like actually like jam on a regular basis, that's going to truly make you a musician. If you keep trying to do the music shit without that, it's possible, but it's going to be a way
no more. Like you said, that's 80s style.
No, it's not 80s style. It's real music. It's real music.
Like, when people were still like, trust me, bro. I always wanted to do stuff like that. But
I'm saying you can't turn it to I've always wanted to. You have to if you really want to reach that level. It has to be like I'm gonna do that.
That's just like life still goes, but it's more so. It's just like some people's first. Like I said, apart from playing orchestra, playing in a band, that shit was legit though, bro. Like how to learn the actual sheet music. Like they wouldn't let regular motherfuckers participate in that. But most people first got on the music digitally, bro. It is what it is. But nowadays,
I understand that, but I'm speaking from the perspective of like I've been through both. You know, I've done both, and I'm telling you, like you get a way more complete picture if you experience both. You could try.
At most, I did this with 2 people.
I'm just saying jamming is more important. Jamming is more important. You have to feel what it's like to have a drummer there, to be in a room with an actual drum set, with an actual drummer and an actual instrument in your hand. Even if you're playing like fucking 2 to 3 notes, and like
that can only be so my plans to do that is like future kids. Have like 3 kids.
Yo, you know how easy this is? Like it's not even hard. Like honestly, even if you know how to like spit, like if someone starts beatboxing, you know, and you just know how to like, you know, drop bars while someone
if you talk about it on a level like this, then yeah, this shit's done. Like, I know what you're like.
But that's the same. You're drawing upon that same kind of feeling of synchronicity with another musician, another music person. You know, then it's not just about your vision. It's about a person who's just playing instinctively, and you need that beat first.
Is it just instruments or just like? What if you're making a beat with somebody? With a rapper?
Don't think of it as a beat. Just think of I'm jamming with this person. Yeah. Jamming is something. It's not composing. It's not performing. It's just jamming.
If you put it that way, if you're putting it that way, then yeah, I got years with that. I get what you're saying.
But I'm saying it's like getting it is one thing, but you gotta actually do it. You know, like you have to fucking do it.
I have. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and like
it, that way. but it's just at the same time, it's just
Like
I do
honestly,
know
like just
going back to instruments. Like I was thinking, I was leaning more towards when you were saying, someone finding someone that plays guitar, someone that plays bass, someone that plays drum. I
and
feel like
play with
that's
them
actual
and
like
play with them is
a,
what I'm saying.
a
You got to play with
testament
them.
of music. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, what were you about to say as well?
No, I'm saying you gotta have that group of people, and you have to actually play with them. Like you gotta actually play music with them, and then you're gonna get that feeling of like of jamming, and that's really
Well,
what.
have you played in the orchestra before?
Yeah, but it's not the same. I mean, I've been in a school
Really good
band.
music.
Yeah, I've been in a school band, but it's not what I'm talking
Even
about.
like study. Not, I mean, I wasn't even this wasn't even no basic shit. This wasn't. That's
I'm
what I'm
not.
saying. This was
I know what you're talking about. You're talking about like
why I gotta.
I know, but you know exactly what I'm talking about, and like that's really what it is. Like
Yeah.
that's what you need. Otherwise, you're just gonna
Well, that's
understand.
why like I have that disconnect myself, even with art, like in the landscape right now with music, because I kind of even my favorite producers, they were working with like actual rappers in the studio, like next to them in person when they were like kind of making music and stuff. And to me, that kind of created a really unique. It created a unique sound. Nowadays, I'd say a lot of rappers don't like to really like. It's not really the same. You kind of have to, unless you really know people in person, which I like. Like I know rappers in person that come over, we make music, everything's good to go. But online, it's just like you can kind of tell how music kind of transactive a little bit because there's
Yeah,
not really that.
I don't know.
There's
To be
not more
honest,
like
I guess what
there's
it
not
is.
people in the room though.
I guess you
Like
know what. Like honestly,
not
like
that much.
when I look back, it's like it's really like music kind of pursued me. It wasn't like I pursued music because when I was a teenager and first started like going out and hanging out with my peers, they were all musicians. Like they were all in bands. If anything, I came into it late because like I was like 16 and these kids were playing together since they were like 11, 12, 10, and I came into it. But still, like it was like young enough for me to like be like I had no choice because every time like I wanted to hang out with my friends as a teenager, it's like, what are we doing today? Oh, first we're gonna go to the show, then we're gonna get 40s, we're gonna get fucked up, then we're gonna go to the studio, we're gonna jam all night. And that was like I did that for years and years and years. That's what we did. That's what we did for fun. It's like, well, what do you want to do today? Well, there's a show playing. It's gonna be a punk show. It's a decent lineup. Afterwards, we're gonna get 40s and blunts. We're gonna get fucked up. We're gonna go to the studio and we're just gonna play all night. And the studio wasn't even a real studio. It was like this rundown, moldy, disgusting little place with like room like with shutters, and if you paid every month you got a key, and inside was this disgusting like germ-ridden fucking like moldy carpeted room, but it was big enough to store your amps, to store drum sets, and each room was like this. So like on any given night we would go to the quote unquote studio, we would jam, and then we would just exit the room, and then we would be in the hallway smoking cigarettes, and we hear like, oh shit, someone's in the such and such room and they're sounding good, so we go into that room and then we pick up instruments like, yo, you mind if we jam with you, we mind if we cut in, and that's like that was what it was like for me growing up. And it's like I didn't pursue this like as a kid or anything. It literally just like it just invaded my life.
Do you
know,
like? Do you like? Well, it's still multiple factors, bro. You don't have to just. I
well,
understand.
wait, I'm not done. So I did that, right? Now here's the thing. That was all good. Like, yeah, I could have kept doing that, but I was always like more open-minded than even people I was doing that with. So eventually my friends were like, a couple of my friends were like, yo, you want to try going to a rave? I'm like, a rave? What's that? It's like, oh, it's not like a punk show where it's not like what we do. It's different music. It's like electronic dance music that DJs play. And all my musician friends were like, nah, fuck that. That shit's robot music. That shit's whack. And I was like, all right, I'll try it out. And then I went to my first rave and I was just like, wow. Because like, I'm used to going to punk shows, and punk shows, they end early. They're just like a bunch of kids there. I go to a rave and it's like, yeah, there were people my age, but there were older people. There were fucking drugs there and shit. I was like, yo, this is wild. And the music was like, I understood the music because I come from like actual like like playing with musicians. So hearing the rave music, it's just four to the floor beats. Yeah, I got this. This is easy. But like I realized it wasn't the complexity always. That's what the dance music was about. It was about the energy. And yeah, so I never stopped like jamming still after that, but I got more into electronic music.
Because it's like, how should I explain it? Um, I don't think musicians don't have to jam out. it's all of it starts in your mind.
I do know this though. Like
Like you don't
I've seen both. I've seen people who only stuck to like, you know, their rock music or whatever, they like jamming with their
yeah.
and I've seen people who never got to experience that, who only did like electronic music and like digitally produced music. I got to tell you, like unless you do both, like you're missing a huge
Well,
aspect.
there's lots of reasons why with that too. But I was gonna say like a lot of stuff, music starts in your mind too. But there's two, bro. You're either playing the music or you're creating the music, and then there's the overlay with that. That's the main thing that you should. If you don't separate those two aspects, and it's just like
Yeah, but it's gonna be hard for me to like respect. It's gonna be hard for me to respect a musician who can only quote unquote make it, but can't actually play it. Like I'm like, come on, dude. Like really, like that's a cop out to me. Like I can't. I can't jive with that.
it's just like
I can't look up to that kind of like that kind of standard.
what's the extent of playing guitar like Steve Vai?
No, just being able to play what you fucking write. Like if you write a song, you should be able to fucking play it. You don't have to play every aspect of the song.
So that aspect is like, which is another argument. It's just which soon will be like AI music, but like you can download Splice and just drag some loop samples. Boom, you got a song. Oh, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like that as well. So it's just like there's like this music. There's just this huge.
You know what?
spectrum.
You know what? It's I'm not even setting the standard that high. All I'm saying is like you could be an electronic artist even mostly, right? And you could have all of your original song playing completely automatically just as you produced it. Just take one element of that song and do it yourself. Whether it's just the drums, whether it's just the bass, whether it's just the chords, something. Just play something from beginning to end of that song yourself. If you could do that, then you keep pulling on that string, then yes, you will become a quote unquote real musician. You know, like that's a great way to start.
So like, as like say you're a young musician, right? You know how long? Oh, I guess like it depends on like when, because you can, the younger you are, if you pick up an instrument, you just immediately learn it. But like,
Well, I mean, there's also the ultimate. I just want you to
a
know.
lot of time sound designing though. And
No, it
massive,
doesn't. No, it doesn't. It doesn't take
You
that
make
much.
it-
You know how I know that's not true? Because I could pick up a fucking guitar. My friend could pick up a bass. Like these could be like $200 fucking Epiphone instruments on like really shitty amps with like a very well worn drum set, and we could still make banging tunes. So it's not
That's
about
different, though.
it's not
That has
different.
nothing
It's
to do with
not.
sound
It's
design.
I'm
Right?
that is sound design. That is.
Very much.
What do you think? Like you think you don't? Do you think you just
I know that sound is.
you think you just plug your guitar in and you don't and you get like what you get your default sound?
You put in effects on the sound, reverb.
I'm saying you think when you plug a guitar into a fucking amp, you just that's it, that's the one sound you get. No, you got to actually fucking modulate your signal.
It's not making like scary must. Let
Let me ask you something. When you first on default settings, like on default settings, what do you think an electronic guitar sounds like coming through an amp? You think it's just immediately like heavily distorted with crazy metal sound? No, that's not how it works.
Like that.
What?
I got like a guitar. I got my friend. With some amps you can just plug in and it's already lit.
I know, but that's not how amps work. Like usually, what it is, it's like the actual sound of the guitar is
you
when
gotta tune it to reach a specific sound. I get what you're saying too.
it's a dry signal that you could add on a distortion, and then if you want reverb, you have to get a reverb pedal. You could also get a wah pedal. You could also get a phaser pedal. You could also get a delay pedal. Guess what? This is all the same exact shit that you would find on your fucking sound design, right? It's the same thing.
The same thing for like engineers, for example. Like
I'm like schooling you right now on this shit.
You can master the song with tape. Have you ever used the tape to mix and master a song? You know what I'm saying?
I get
That
it.
shit crazy.
Look.
Are you a real engineer? If you haven't but it's
No,
not that.
look, what I'm telling you you got to strike a balance, right? Between novelty, between actual between style and actual technique, skill. Like that, if you're able to balance those three elements out, then you're going to be like a solid, well-rounded music maker. Otherwise, it's just you're going to be missing one key element. If you don't have style, no one's going to give a fuck. If you don't have if you don't have good technique, if you don't have skill, no one's really going to fucking have a reason to give a shit. And if you don't have novelty, it's always going to be some shit that someone's already heard before. So it's like, why slack on anyone by trying to find shortcuts? No, tackle the big three. Get your fucking technique up as a musician with instruments, so that could be strong. Get your idea, like get your actual style up, like learn how to look good while doing it, and then you get your fucking novelty up, which is you got to think of like actual new ideas that people never did before.
But which I don't understand. Weren't you wait, did you write the book? Did you write like a marketing book, or were you reading a marketing book? I forgot.
Oh, what do you mean? No,
Like a music marketing.
I took a course on marketing, like on like e-commerce basically, and a
Okay.
part of e-commerce was marketing.
Okay.
Marketing is a simple thing, you know. It's like the same rules apply for marketing anything. You're just basically creating a sales funnel, especially if you're dealing with the internet. So it's like a lot more concentrated. You don't have to deal with like highway billboards and fucking newspaper ads. But the concepts are very similar. You know, you're still creating like a marketing funnel. That's basically people's attention getting like funneled in from like the main phase. They'll see like an ad somewhere and they'll click on that. And the next phase, which leads to browsing your site, and the next phase, which means to making a purchase. And the final phase of that funnel is recurring customers, recurring purchases, people who bought your thing and who come back to buy more things. That's how you create loyal customers, and that's what you're building up with marketing. Not just one sale, not just two sales from like 3 different people. No, you want returning customers. So that's the marketing end, and it's like it's the same concept that applies to say you just use different tactics. You know, like similar strategies, different tactics. Strategies are like your grand directive, and your tactics are like the different operations and stuff you take to get there. So yeah, that's stuff I learned about, but that's kind of like, I don't know, that's just basics. Most of it's like learning like all the tools that are out there to be able to do that.
Music is super like, yeah, you can come out, but like, bro, it's just, I don't know, maybe it depends on the perspective. I meant like I'm on Twitter a lot talking to producers, but there's a big difference, and I always say this, like even in the elements, like let's just say in the digital only world, creating your sounds, melodies versus you know, in the rap world where you can just, you know, find melodies and samples. Consumer base looks for something different, bro. It's just playing an instrument, yeah, it matters, but I don't know. Are you in the rap world? You listen to like a lot of rap music, follow a lot of rap artists, somewhat to some extent.
Honestly, in my opinion, there's people that say they want to make music, and then there's people that actually want to make music. Some people who say they want to make music, they really just want to build a career or build a brand in making music. Some people say they want to make music, but they really just mean I want to get rich off of making music. Some people say they want to make music, they just mean I want to get famous off of making music. You got to really come to terms with why the fuck you're making music. If you're making music to just make money, then there's really no point in talking about, you might as well just be a soulless fucking sellout pumping out garbage that's not going to mean anything, but that'll sell immediately, and just devote yourself to that. I mean, if you want to make a brand, and if you want to become a famous musician, what the fuck are you doing writing your own songs? Get someone who's better than you at writing songs to write your fucking songs and perform that. Then you'll become way better than the sum of your own parts. But if you want to make music, you don't need any of that extra shit. Just go fucking make music.
But listen, though, I mean, there, you could say that, and I still think it's vague, because like I got so many different songs that I made, and it's just like for whatever, and I don't. And that's,
no, the real trick of it is it's a journey.
I was hearing, like, that's what I liked about like I remember back in the day I was fine, like I know when you talked about going to a rave and shit, and that's like when you were introduced to electronic music. But like my introduction was just like, cause I want to assume you heard like Daru Sandstorm like way back, but I was just like, I want to find more songs like this. So I had iTunes Radio and shit. I was just like, I heard like all this house music, trance music, you know what I'm saying? All this shit. I'm like, damn, what the fuck? What the like that shit, it was like, and then the chick come on, start singing and shit. Like, in the endless night we follow the and in the bass, like that shit was crazy, and I'm just like, damn, I need to find more shit like this. And it's just like, I noticed when I was like, because I took the songs down, the names of songs, I was looking them up, and I know it's a different, like the consumer based thing is just like, because there's always gonna be this like skill aspect of music, like it has to be like they're like, and you know everyone knows this but doesn't talk about it, but there's always gonna be that. But like one thing I noticed with the EDM scene before it was like EDM America style was like there was no face to any of this music. You know what I'm saying? There was no face. There was no like, you didn't know who made the music. All these songs had like 1,000 views, 2,000, 5,000. But it was like the hardest music, like people putting their heart and soul in this shit. You know what I'm saying? Just like people put, and I'm just like, damn. It was like humble and shit. Rap world and shit. You gotta be like lit, big chain. Music video gotta be lit. Everything. There's a lot of shit that goes into it that doesn't have to do with the actual music, with the rap world, even the pop world too. It's like, I don't know, it'd be bullshit. I'm like, damn. And there's a lot of deceivement to some extent.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Like when it comes to like the reason you're actually making music, I think the main reasons you want to hold on to are the ones that you have complete control over. For example, let's say you want to be famous or you want to build a career. If that's your driving motivation to make music, the problem is it's contingent on how other people take it. There's other people get a say now and like how successful you are at what you want to do with music, because you know, if that's your goal and people aren't like down, if it's not viral, then you're failing. Whereas if you just want to make music, then as long as you're making music, then you're accomplishing exactly what you want to do, and nobody could fucking argue that. And you arguably make better work when you're centered like that.
Yeah. And the thing is, there is a balance, because there are people that, if the type of music you like and create a line and want to make a line with whatever is currently popular, and you know what and stuff you can actually monetize as well. There's a balance where stuff can get commercialized super quick, even your own music. That's why some artists make like their first 2 albums are like super like unique and like part of their essence and shit.
Yeah.
And then the albums after that, you know what I'm saying, they're signed, regular, rich and shit. They stop making like good music. He stopped making good music and shit and kind of just like fall off. But like, I don't know, it depends on if you even like, it depends on like what you actually, to me it depends on what type of music you like, really. Like, I don't know. Some people, like even like DJing and shit, at one point I wanted to like, you know, turn up. I was more DJ geared. You know what I'm saying? But I was just like, I don't know, I kind of lost interest. I was like, wasn't really, I don't know. I didn't think it was like fun to a certain aspect. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I liked it. I like DJ music because when you're actually there in the environment where that music is supposed to be played and listened to, and the way people are dancing in like a very primal way, listening to those hard ass beats, I thought that's like something beautiful. You know, that's something you don't really get in like civilized society. Elements where people are just like stomping on their ground in unison really hard and jumping around and shit. And it's like, it looks really cool sometimes. And, you know, you also get like all sorts of crazy stimulus. You get psychedelics in the picture, which is fucking awesome.
Were you one that like, were you like more of a, cause even my friends, when I was going to raves and stuff, it was just like, the type of raves I like, bro, and the type of specific I like I've been to like warehouse raves and shit, not just like warehouse like still like official on pay, like to shit like someone just had or whatever. And it was just straight house music. Even some that was just playing dubstep, but I never I have friends that didn't really like mainstream festival type shit.
Yeah, everyone's got their own tastes, you know, it's fine, it's whatever. I like mainstream pop mode. The way I see it, there's a time and place for everything. You know, if you were to say like, honestly, I could barely think like it takes a lot for me to really not get into a subgenre of electronic music. Like I love psytrance, I love hardcore, I love hardstyle, I love house, I love electro house, I love deep house, I love most of these things. It's just some of it just isn't exciting to me.
Some of it isn't really made for the, I would say, raves or the club, I would say.
Or some of it's just really dated. You know, like back then they weren't able to make hard sounds, you know, to a certain extent.
You know, I was literally about to say that earlier about electronic music. Some people didn't like electronic music that came out back then. Like the bass was different, the kicks were different.
Yeah, because it was put together differently. It wasn't made with a computer.
I don't know. I still listen to like even like uplifting trance, like early 2000s type trance. It was like 138 BPM, and it was just like melodic. I thought that shit was crazy, but I could also understand, and it's weird how there's overlay with the genres as well of music. How like 2010ish, 2012ish, the EDM trap came in, which is just basically like rap trap beats, but kind of like a bit harder sounds with actual build-ups and drops. But still just hi-hats and 808s.
Yeah, EDM had a huge time in the 2010s, and I look back And you could say like the music was one thing, but really it was the psychedelics. That's what really made it so crazy. It was first of all it was the Molly. It was a whole generation getting
That's the thing, bro. You know why I was so? I'm sorry, I was so mad. This is why I was mad. This is the hipster side of me, bro. Like I said, I was listening. When I first was listening to EDM, I was like a YouTube head. Like I was on YouTube, just like listening to headphones and just like bumping this shit. And then there were when I turned 18, like there were clubs playing this shit. Well, I remember my friends wanted to go. I think probably said this before. My friends wanted to go to. There's a club played EDM and shit, house music Saturdays, dubstep on Fridays, or whatever. And then like I was just mad because my friends wanted to go, but they didn't care about the music. They just wanted to pull holes and shit. That's it.
Well, that's a part of it. I mean, to go out there
to be like near the speaker and shit, bro. I used to have like some sunglasses on in the rain.
yeah, but to go out of your way and say, "Oh, the drugs have nothing to do with rave culture. It's all about the music." You're fucking stupid, buddy. Like that is not fucking true. That is utter bullshit. First of all, the psychedelics do things to you that extend beyond just rave culture. It also affects it's changing a whole generation. It's changing an entire paradigm for like a whole generation to collectively in unison go through that together. It's like Woodstock, in a sense.
What was I say? Did you have any? How old are you when you went to like a rave?
Probably like a little late, like 19, maybe.
Yeah.
20.
Well, I didn't like. I was gonna say is I didn't go to like a club at 18, of course, but like the only closest thing to that experience was actually before that I lived in Las Vegas. I went to a rave, but they had the thing. I guess I would want to say. I guess my aspect of my perspective why it's not drugs. It is probably drugs, yeah. But like because I was going to like teen nights and shit. They hosted like a teen night at a club when I was like 14, 15, 16.
Yeah.
That bitch was lit. It was just music, energy, sonic boop, sonic bass. That bitch was just lit.
Yeah, I know. And like, I also say this with like, I also say that what?
Nobody was on drugs.
That's fine.
Maybe somebody was.
That's fine. I'm just being honest, because like I'm not going out there and advocating for drug use or anything. I'm not saying that, but it's a lie. It's honestly a straight up fucking lie to say that had nothing to do with it. It was a huge part of it, and it still is a huge part of it. My only problem with it now is I think it's the wrong drugs. I'm not down with ketamine. I straight up think it's like a whack, lame drug. It really makes people like stupid.
And the thing is now people are getting mad as fuck. I think the dubstep like today is not even like I don't even think rhythm is as advanced as like 2012-ish dubstep. 2013, 14-ish. Rhythm is like super just wah 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 wah. You know what I'm saying? And 2012 dubstep was like wah, wah, wah. Like it was all these like element like I'm like what the fuck? How did this shit get nerfed? Americans took over.
No, I don't know. It's just people's taste started changing, because the thing is, what happens is like collective fatigue.
Yeah.
You just get tired no matter how good it is. If all you hear is that one thing blasting for like a few years, you're going to be like, fuck this. We need something new right now. I don't care how it comes out, just anything. As long as it's faster, harder, stronger, done. We'll take it. And that's just what happens.
I just thought of it because like have you ever like made like this is kind of where you have to separate your ego and shit. Have you ever made a song, created a melody or some shit, something kind of basic, but then like a few months later or a year later you hear like a popular song that has that same melody and you're like, I could have made that melody. I could have made this song.
No, I never took my own melodies that seriously, because for one thing, like I was, again, you got to remember my history.
Well, yeah,
like,
that's why I say
I was growing. I was growing up.
Conscious.
I'm just saying,
like we all be on the same wave. You know what I'm saying? Like someone just made it. Listen. No, listen. Someone else on Fruit.
Listen. I was growing up with like actual musicians. So again, remember, you got to remember, I was around like teenagers who were playing like crazy shredded solos off the dome, like just anytime they want, instantly. And even I could barely solo at that level, but everything I learned was from that shit. And I know like how advanced is that? I just know when I listen to dance music, I don't listen to it with like complexity and novelty of like, oh, that one chord progression, only that one producer could be attributed. No, it's fucking stupid. First of all, most of this electronic music shit is sampled anyway. All right. So you can't go out and try to like start claiming originality. That's not what it's about. It's really about like like your cleverness and efficiency in terms of getting your ideas out, and like how it affects people on like a chemical level.
No,
you know,
that's
like
not, bro. That's how
I'm saying with
how
electronic dance music. I'm not talking about like
that's how a lot of
I'm not talking about like
that's how a lot of electronic dance producers like stick out, and that goes back to the sound design aspect, and that's why
I get that. I get that,
that's
but
why I actually that's why I actually respect electronic dance music in that aspect versus rap producers and producing approaching rap music.
oh, what? So you're gonna say, oh, then you don't respect dance music producers who use samples and shit? Like, come on, that's like the stupidest argument. Like,
a lot of it wasn't based off a lot of electronic dance producers that are like that popped off. They're like, when you say samples, what are you talking about? Like a drum sample, a kick, snare.
look, if you look, first of all, let me add the proper nuance, right? Like, any given modern song, if it's like made to its fullest potential, you're gonna see a mixture of sampled sounds, like some certain drum sounds, maybe some percussion, or maybe some upsweeps. You're gonna hear samples, but you're also going to hear like actual designed, like sound designed and actually engineered like rolls and like actual patterns and stuff that are like made specifically for that song. I get that. I'm not saying like, oh, you know, like sound design isn't important. I understand it. I'm just saying, like, if we're going to be maximalist about it, we would have to admit that, like, you know, samples have always been in the picture just as much as like, you know, crazy nuanced synth settings and specific things and stuff like, I get that too.
There, but like someone's still it's still a difference between like I said, even with playing instruments, like there's a lot of people I can play instruments, but if you can't like really make the track, like it gets to a point where even like I separate playing the instruments, because you can like, okay, you can play the guitar, but like if you can't really like create like a song and stuff, to me it's just like whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And I pointed that out. Like when you just hang around musicians, it's like, you know, it's always there's always a limitation in itself. I'm saying if you do, look, I said both. You gotta experience both, and you get that whole picture.
Amongst like musicians, like, I mean, it depends, because there's gonna be that's why there's like rock bands that pop off, and there's ones that don't. Like you can still imitate other people's music. You can imitate what's already done, but creating from scratch, creating a different trend.
You know what? Let's look at it like one good.
That's another way.
I mean, this is probably a terrible analogy, but like take cooking for example, right? There's cooking and baking. Arguably, they fall under the same umbrella of producing food using ingredients, but cooking is vastly different from baking. You know, like, in fact, you could be a terrible baker, but you could be a fantastic cook, right? On the other hand, you could be a terrible cook, but you could know baking like the back of your ball sack, right? I'm saying if you only do baking, then you're only ever going to know baking. If you only do cooking, you're only ever going to do cooking. But if you like practice both, then imagine what kind of a powerhouse you'll be in the kitchen. You could be the person who like runs the whole joint now. Officially, you're qualified because not only can you bake, but you could fucking throw down and cook as well. They're two separate things.
I know what you mean.
And well, like one.
Remember when you asked me like, how do you feel about Rick Rubin?
Yeah. Well, anyhow, look. First of all, if I had millions of dollars, it wouldn't be a fucking question. Like, I wouldn't give a fuck. I would literally call up prestigious studios and be like, "Yo, let me get one of your fucking violinists. Let me get a cellist. I'll rent them out. What is it? $500 by the hour? Done. You know, just get them over."
That's my whole thing too, though.
But you need money for that, first of all, and I don't think that's a good placeholder.
You don't need too much. You don't really need money.
Well, you either need money or connections. You need one of those, and they're both resources.
You can go on Fiverr.
Yeah, but you get what you pay for. Like, do you really want to go out of your way to get like cheap shit if you're going out of your way to find musicians? If you could pay $5 for it, you might as well learn how to fucking do it yourself.
You can connect with someone on Twitter.
Yeah, but at that point, why not just fucking do it yourself?
Remote collab. You know what I'm saying? Cause, bro, it's just like, that's what I'm trying to say. That's the whole point. Getting people together.
Yeah, but honestly, like, again, I guess my philosophy is different.
In person these days, you can do it digitally.
For me, it's like, if I'll probably figure out a way to do it. You know, like, if it's something that it costs me an arm and a leg to get done, I'll probably figure out a way to fucking get it done.
That's honestly why I haven't, like, earlier producing, like when I was early producing.
Yeah,
I was just like, I wanted to like hire like violinists, guitarists. I wanted to hire them so I can. I had some friends that actually we recorded some shit too. It was cool.
Yeah, but like when you're so busy like getting other people to do your fucking music, like, you know, at some point, like, you're not, to me the fun part is doing it myself. You know, I don't want to fucking like, I want to keep that to a minimum, you know, like I want to keep.
It's just more so just like, because you can't, there's no VST right now that can replicate a guitar.
What? Yeah, but I could play. Yeah, but first of all, that's not true. There are plenty of VSTs that could replicate guitars.
There is, but like there's certain aspects where like there are VSTs that are good. They still cost as well. Yeah. But like if you want just a real guitarist or an organic person playing guitar in your track, it's like you're gonna want. You know what I'm saying? It's either find someone in person or find a sample.
Yeah, or learn how to play the fucking guitar. And you know, like the thing is, if you actually learn how to play guitar, then you're going to learn how to play the bass. And if you could play the bass, the guitar, and the drums, you don't really have to go that far into the drums, but it helps if you know how to keep a beat on a drum set, you know, like, so if you could do those three things, then you're pretty much covered. The only thing you can't do, and that you'd have to dive further into the next skill tree, is like classical instruments, like woodwind instruments, piano, violin, strings, you know, shit like that. But it's cool to know like how to at least throw down.
Most producers got like somewhat play piano. Like I can play some bullshit on the piano in front of some people. I can just be there like, and people would be like, "Oh my god, wow, how long have you been playing for?" I was just like,
yeah, but since like, you know, like since I discovered like playing guitar and know like how guitar pedals work, I know I could always use a loop pedal. So if I have a loop pedal, I could just click that in and play like on the keyboard like just the bottom notes, and then like loop that and then click it again and then like play some middle notes, and you could always do it like that. Like that's what I'm saying. Like the more broad.
It all depends on what you're into, bro. Cause you're talking to someone that like, bro, I like I like music on suspense. Like I'll be looking up like suspense movie music.
That's fine. Then you know, like that's great.
I think that should be like I think that's like you thought like I love that shit.
I don't know. I like personally my favorite part of music is performing music, whether it's performing as a DJ, performing as an electronic music producer, performing as a guitarist. Like I just like performing. I think
One
that's
thing
like
recently was I really like this a lot. You know the rapper Young Jeezy? He had like a Tiny Desk concert.
Yeah.
And it was just like because he has, I don't know if he has his first album like Thug Motivation 101. It was just crazy because like I heard his album like back in the day. It's like the most trap. It's like the most trap like gangster shit, like the essence of trap music. But anyways, like they had the Tiny Desk concert and they had like the orchestra, like the violins, violas, piano, bass, like in the drums. That shit was crazy. Like I don't know. It was just so like it was so like amazing to hear like songs of like actual instruments and stuff. He was just still rapping for it as well, but like it was really good. And like there are like I wish there was more because it doesn't take much to like for example like drum and bass. Have like a drum and bass band. I know they did that a lot more back then, but like I don't know, like there are like elements of like even modern like EDM or maybe rap music where I think will be cool, you know, with like actual instruments and shit. But that takes time getting together and stuff. That's why that whole aspect of music kind of ended, because it was more lucrative. It's more lucrative to book a DJ because all you need is a USB drive.
Yeah, but
just like it's more lucrative to book a rapper. You just show up.
Yeah, you got to show up.
Kind of being like, what the fuck? It's kind of bullshit.
You know what? Put it this way though, like I want to know. First of all, like I want to know, like let's say like every fucking like. Let's say I lose everything, you know, just on a personal level. Let's say I become completely flat broke and all I had was one acoustic guitar. At least just with that, I could do something with that. You know, like if you take away all my shit, if you take away my home, if I lose all my family, my friends, if I just have an acoustic guitar, I could make a life with just that, right? Now let's think of a bigger, broader scale, right? If let's say everything goes to shit and we live in like post-apocalypse world and I just happen to survive. If I have at least just an acoustic guitar, music is still alive in the world. You know, like I don't need MacBooks in a post-apocalyptic world. Just give me one acoustic guitar.
Freestyling.
Exactly. So this is why actual musicians are always so
Start
important.
singing.
They need to be around, and it's more beautiful when you become
I
that.
started singing in certain keys though. That's the difference between like, I still you forget I still rap, bro. I still a certain song I don't even need auto tune. Turn up
Yeah,
just like that.
you just need a guy who could do beatboxing, some bongos, and
I
an
need
acoustic
the
guitar,
table.
and an acoustic. Exactly. That is music. That is the
All you
real
need, all you need
that is the
is
purest core of
man.
music that actually matters. That's what you should
Look,
really
some people
draw
can't
on.
even whistle and key.
That's
I mean,
fine.
a
Look,
grocery
I know,
store.
I know, I know, I know, I know. I'm
Grocery
just
store, someone starts whistling. They're playing
everyone sucks. I know it's so fucking terrible.
and the dude nigga whistling. I'm in my head. I'm like, you a dumbass?
Oh
Is that
man,
what?
it's such a tragedy. If only everyone could whistle in
Fuck?
key, man. If only
And I
everyone in
can't
the world could whistle in key.
like I can't sing in every key, and that's another thing. But that even takes away, bro. All the I don't know, bro. But that the levels of that, bro. But like even like auto tune and shit, like some like I don't know. Back then, you can uniquely identify rappers, but like now you can. A lot of people like they do deceive people on making music. Once people figure out how music really made, collective consciousness, then shit will change. Then dubstep will be like soft and contemporary station. And then,
I don't know. I mean, it's fine, I guess.
even country, I turned to the country station. I heard 808s and hi hats, nigga mode. It was
Yeah.
it was lit too. I was like, damn, what the fuck? They on Ableton, they on Fruit Loops making country music.
I think we're at this phase now where people are starting to like underestimate people who can make music. Basically, everyone's got everyone's got this idea where they think like, oh, this shit's easy. Anyone could do this. If I really wanted to do this, I could fucking do this, right? So what that means is that means like you don't have enough people trying and failing. Basically, that's what it takes. Like for people to remember, oh shit, I forgot this shit's actually fucking hard. No matter how good technology is, you have
It's
to.
just that.
You ha-
I think it actually it's the opposite. I think it's easy to make music, and that's what it is.
No, it's not.
It's
It's not easy to
harder.
make. No, no. I mean, yeah, it could be easier to do it, but what I'm saying is you actually have to like get up and do it. So here's the problem. It's like the problem is if something's easier to do, you're going to put it off a lot. Like you're going to put off doing it a lot. You're going to be more likely to be like, yeah, it's so easy. I'll do it. I'll do it next week. Oh, I'll do it the week after that. Oh, I'll do it next month. You know, anyone could do it. I could do this in like a day. I'll just do it, you know, whatever, in a couple months. At some point, you know, even if you did give yourself a deadline after a couple months and you start rushing, it's going to sound like shit. It's all because like, you know, you don't respect the craft that goes into the music. So therefore
Well,
the music's going to reflect that.
like if you can't whistle and key, that's my whole thing. If you can't like, that's what I mean. And then just start with rave jam bands. Like if you didn't have like, if you can't think of like a song in your head, drum beat or some shit, you can't like think of that. Then it's just like I don't know. You can, like I said, you can trust me. Learning to play an instrument that's super advanced. Like that takes hella time.
I don't
That takes
think
like
so. I mean, 6-year-olds can do it.
well, that okay it does. 6-year-olds can learn 3-5 languages.
2-year-olds can fucking do it.
You know what I'm saying? 2 year, yeah, exactly. Like 2-year-olds could, but I'm talking about like just in general. Like a lot of people aren't gonna pick up an instrument.
Let me explain something to you. Like 99% of those pop songs, if they could be played with like 4 chords. Like if you give someone an acoustic guitar, teach them 4 chords, they could play like almost every pop song. Like people think this shit is so hard. It's really not. The hard part isn't learning how to do it. The hard part is getting good at it. It's not your mind could learn how to do something like playing guitar chords really easily. The only problem is even if your mind does it, your body has to learn it, and that takes practice. And that's what people don't want to do because practice takes time. It takes dedication. It takes consistency.
4 or 5 years old. That's it, bro. Easy. Super memorization.
Well, it's also they have time. I mean, what else? They don't have like 5-year-olds don't have jobs. 5-year-olds don't have to actually set aside time to learn new skills.
Hanging out. Hanging out.
I mean, that's really the most important skill that we're talking about here is like the skill of being able to acquire new skills. That's the main skill that not everyone has.
So I know a lot of like a lot of guitarists, for example. I mean, I know there's nothing wrong with the making money aspect, but a lot of guitarists now, 'cause it did come to a point where once the EDM rap became like a more of a lucrative move for like venues to book those type of artists, a lot of like rock need for rock bands went away, but like guitarists did like even like recording just loops, 8 to 16 bar loops, whole pack of those. A lot of guitarists made money off that.
That's
You know what I'm
fine.
saying?
Yeah, they
A
could do
lot
that.
of
Nothing wrong with
artists
that.
came, they had a guitar background from like since a kid, and then slowly got into like working with a DAW. To me, that's still all musical, but that in create, I feel like it's all the in creation. Everyone's always gonna make music, no matter what we consider it good or bad. No matter if it's like even mix and mastering. Being an engineer is like a specialized skill. Like that's all. That's straight lucrative. Like people don't just be engineers just to be engineers.
No,
So, yeah,
the important part is creating. As long as you're creating and like manifesting your creations, then you're doing the work. I mean, put it this way, like everything
people
start
make sounds. They don't
it's
even make.
it's what you said before. Everything starts off with like an idea. And you're right, but why do you give a shit about those people anyway? Like why is that taking up any your main concern should be creating your own stuff. What?
Those people make the world go around.
You know what I think? I think you're focused too much on trying to make money off of music. Straight up, like I think you have this mindset where you just like you're because you're focused on all.
Bro, I've been making music for 10. Like I don't care. I don't care. I just like. But there are aspects of music that's like you can't really.
Because you're always talking about like the marketing of it and like all the like how guitarists made money and shit.
You can't really like downplay certain aspects of music and shit. Like even like raves, bro. Like okay, so for example, like even like when I let in, I don't the type of raves I went to aren't available down here in
Yeah,
Tampa.
yeah.
So it's like you gotta create it, but that take like you know what I'm saying. Even like pushing like a whole music sound takes like cash and shit. You gotta like create a scene if you want like certain music aspects to even be put. I don't know, bro. I think money goes a lot into it, bro. That's all I gotta say.
Okay, but is that what you wanted? Like, do you want to create scenes or do you want to make music?
Both, bro. Duh.
I'm saying that's that. See,
that's what Gold World Ultra is. Soon, bro. Soon, I'm gonna have a whole.
yeah, but what? All right, let's say you want to do both, like right, create a scene and make music. But what would you do if you were in a position where like trying to split your focus was actually hurting your progress in one of them? Like, what if it came down to like only being able to choose making a scene or making music? Because like those are two different things. That's not the same thing. Even if you want to believe so, it's not.
This is kind of like this is kind of what every like this is like Armin van Buuren, A State of Trance.
I mean, I'm not saying it's impossible. Like, yeah, you can, but I'm saying
you gotta like drop your shit first and leave like you know what I'm saying. Set expectations and shit. You gotta like create your like. I don't want to say create a cult or whatever, but you just gotta like set a new wave of music and shit. But that takes cash. Coca-Cola. I'm not really trying to approach music to make money from music. I'm more so trying to like dump money into music. And if I lose money, fuck it. Just for the love of music, just so I can just spread that shit. Fuck it. Because more so, it's just like one of my big inspirations was like, you seen UKF dubstep? You know what that is? UKF?
No.
Damn. So like,
well, yeah, I know UKF. Yeah,
it's like it was like a YouTube channel, but it was like they're based out of the UK, but they had like
yeah. I'm sorry, it was just like I was just zoning it for a second.
I feel it's just random shit. Yeah, it's some random shit, but it's just like it was just dubstep channel, just pushing all this like crazy like new age type of music and shit.
I'm pretty sure they push a lot of different things.
Bam, new like they had the drum and bass channel too. But like I look at that like that's how music is created and like influenced and shit.
Curated, yeah, I get you.
I don't look at music. I don't really like looking at the capitalistic aspect of music, but you have to. But I don't really approach that world. I can care less for like radio aspect, but internet world will always be there.
Yeah.
And then like creating local scenes. Like I did shows and shit as a rapper and shit, and it's cool. But they weren't like the difference between like DJing and rapping. That well, at least for me, rap at least specific position I am in rap. DJing, you can just show up. No one. I don't want to say no one cares who the DJ is because people do pay us as like a bigger DJ, but it's just like people want to hear like just fresh music that's like gonna like fuck their mind up while they fucked up. You know what I'm saying? People want to hear some crazy shit. Rapping is more of a I would say now is I don't want to say popularity contest. It kind of split up. It's not really diverse. Like you know how rock has different genres.
Yeah.
Rap, everything is lumped into one category, even though there's like different type of rap music. But I do want to push like a specific type of like sound and shit that's not super degenerate. It's not super even though you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, you got your own
It's
sound,
like
I'm sure.
higher vibration, lit mode, lit mode. Money wise, fuck it. I don't give a fuck. I'd rather get rich in some other shit and then dump money into rap as a like experiment, just to
Yeah.
like, you know what I'm saying?
I guess my main concern is like how can I get better? You know, like how can I get better at doing what I do? How can I get better at like putting together songs? How can I get better at putting together like coherent, like good tracks that like
Well, I
it's
feel
just
like that depends on like what your end goal is, though. You get what I'm saying?
my end goal is just to be the best that I can be at it. You know, even if I'm not famous, like let's say there's another famous
Well,
ass
it doesn't have to be famous, but
I'm
like,
just
you might
saying.
have.
I'm just saying. Let's say there's another famous ass producer who does make music, and then they know me, and then I could just be, and then like as long as like we both know, it's like I'm better at this than you, though, right? Even though I may not have pushed the brand, I just as long as we both know that I could do things that you can't do,
There's always gonna be
and
that.
but I'm saying like if I have faith in my path, I have faith in my path. I
Famous
know.
producer, like, oh, this is Chris. You don't have to be a famous producer. It could be more.
I'm
so
just saying, like, if I were to be known for anything, I'd want to be known for being good at what I fucking do.
It's not like a known thing though. It's like you might have a song that like there's famous, and then there's like you might have a song you think sucks, but then it can be used for like a commercial.
I know, but like I'm in a pretty good position here because since like my goal is to get better, the way for me to get better is to make more music. So it's kind of like a happy coincidence here, right? As long as I make more music, the better I get, the better my music gets, and it's like it's a good sustainable system.
Another thing is like I mean, bottom line is like this is what I tell people too, because you make music every day or every other day.
No, I don't make music every day.
Oh, I make music almost every day and shit.
That's great. I mean,
Like,
I don't make music every day, but I do know that I've been like making music at like differing rates for like years and years. I've been doing this for like 15 years now. So it's like I've been doing this long enough where I could take a break for like a month and still come back after and like,
Yeah, I can do that. I can do that too. I just been on average though. I had those moments. I had those type of moments before.
Yeah, well,
But,
I mean, I guess I'm not really worried about that right now.
and
You know,
sometimes
like
I'm like focused on specific aspects of music. Like I'll be creating the music, and then like,
you know what though, if I quit my job, if I quit my job, if I quit my job, then you best believe I'll be giving a shit about making tracks like every fucking day. Which I've been thinking about doing that to myself. Like, what if I did put myself in a position where,
that,
if I quit my job?
I've been thinking about doing the same thing and just making music. I would and just pushing music and shit.
Yeah. Like if I did that to myself, like I think I really would like make music every fucking day if I just like went full tilt. But I think that
you have to have like a I would say because I actually love making music. Bro.
First of all, you have to have equipment. You need the resources. You need everything. You need every big piece you'll need.
You don't have to have like a purpose for why you're. I mean, if you quit your job and you're trying to supplement yourself off music, you don't have to sell out. You don't have to like.
No, you just have to make residuals.
You don't have to do shit.
You just have to make residuals.
And it's just like it's just more so because like why would you say quit your job? Because free time, right?
Yeah,
that's the whole key to life. Free time.
No, yeah, but it's also it already.
I was making the best music when I had the most free time. I would say that I was making like full length EDM tracks. 58 tracks. Oh,
that's pretty good.
White noise.
You know what? Maybe since I work from home, I got to stop like thinking it'll get any better than this and just like really commit time every morning. First thing I do, just pop the DAW. The only problem is I have other shit going on too. For example, there's this fucking podcast which requires me to like actually meet up with people a lot of the times to hang out with them and record and talk. And then there's also martial arts. Like I have to like keep up with that, especially like the higher rank I get. That's like more responsibilities.
Bro, you lit. Some people just you know what I'm saying? That's the whole thing. That's how I am with like the gym and shit, bro. Or just like whatever. It's like I gotta and then like you got the crib, you got a house. I take care of your house.
Yeah.
The cat. You gotta take care of, you know what I'm saying? All this shit. Well, if you balance, bro, like I understand that. One thing with music, I don't know. These days, like I said, it just depends on what you're trying to do.
Well, I mean, I learned that if you really want to do all the stuff that you want to do, it's really about not doing the shit that you know is bad for you. For example, like, you know, you would think like, oh, like, how is hanging out with my friends going to get in the way of that? I'll just do that. You may think that, but at the end of the day, like, you're gonna realize that is especially like if it's no big deal if you only have one thing that you do in your life. Like if all I do is like fucking play golf or play like or if my passion is bowling, just have one thing. Then you have room in your life to do a lot of things, right? You could go hang out. You could go hang out with your friends whenever you need to, and then because you'll always have time in the day, every day, to be able to do that. But if you say you want to dedicate to martial arts and also making music and also like exercising and also like self-growth and development and also relationships and maintaining that in a podcast, like you have to cut out a lot of fucking things. You know, you have to cut out, first of all, you start losing a lot of patience for people that, you know, you used to tolerate.
Bro, you know it's crazy, bro, and it's crazy. I say that I'm not gonna lie, people will be mad. My friends, even trust me, bro. I mean, I got a relationship. I gotta go to the gym, bro. If I don't go to the gym, like even right now, I shrunk. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
Music, promoting music, and then like even like gotta talk to people, like, you know what I'm saying, to promote shit. Blah blah blah. Trying to switch programming and shit. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying, everything bull. But it's just like even with making, like, I don't really have like I can't really. I'm now thinking like, damn, I can't really collab with people like that. I can't really like music wise. It's just like I don't think people have to collab. That's the thing. Like,
probably not.
The whole going back to the jam band. It's hard to get people to start a band. You gotta like leave your life.
All right.
You gotta my bad. I don't want to say leave your life, but like, I don't got that much free time.
Yeah.
To like.
Yeah. So all right. So
other people got kids.
In specific scenarios, if you want to get your music out there in better ways, the big thing is you got to learn how to make content. And I'm not just talking about like reposting tracks or posting tracks. I mean, you have to make like actual content that isn't solely just ads and like links to your track. Like you got to learn how to make, whether it's a video of you performing your track in some way, which, remember, like I said, like mentioned earlier, I was like, you could let the whole track play out except for one part.
The thing with me, trust me, I did this, I was doing this and it was working, but like now it's just like it does get like easier said than done type of thing. Trust me. And when I say that, it's just like,
I know what you're gonna say. It's like it's a lot of effort. It's
not even that, bro. It's just like, because 2000. Okay, so let me just like being an artist in like 2015, for example, compared to now, it's just like that uploading your content. Like you can upload a track, and people will actually like listen to it, fuck with it and shit. But there's like a different type of like wave type aspect now. You gotta tackle, like, the algorithm's constantly changing.
That's fine. I'm just saying, like, it's important. It's important to build content, right? To keep making content, and I think like I'm in a good position because, like, the trick for me was like being able to align the different things I do to help each other out. For example, just as the two, there's this podcast, and you know, music production wise, like, you know, you've seen the shit that I do, and that's like a binding of like separate skill sets that I wouldn't have learned otherwise, which is video editing. Because I know how to edit video, I know how to like layer and produce music, and that means I know how to like edit the sound in for the videos that I edit. I know how to make the actual content, you know, like, and that the more I do that, the better I'm going to get at it, and the more content I'm going to put out, so the better my content gets. And that's like I'm saying that's one example. I'm not saying you have to do exactly that, but it's like you got to have.
Like, well, you also got to realize this, bro. We might just be like, those aspects might be, there's a lot of realizations that, like, bro, like, I don't know when's the first time you picked up a computer? When the first time you was on a computer? How old are you?
I don't know, like what, 4, 5, 6, something like that.
That's what I'm trying to say, bro. You're already ahead of motherfuckers.
Yeah,
I got my first, like, people, like, once you use FL Studio, right? Once you learn how to use FL, you know Premiere, but you use Adobe Premiere right now? Did you ever use Windows Movie Maker?
Yeah. No, I use DaVinci Resolve right now.
You already knew how that. I can show you. I got videos of that I made in 2006.
Yeah.
When I was a content creator. Oh, in 2006, bro, I was making Kingdom Hearts videos. I got like hella views and shit, 5,000, 10,000. I got more views on my 2006 videos when I was 11 years old than I do now with music.
I
And that's
mean,
the whole. And that's like I don't know. I don't want to say. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I know what it takes for that type of stuff. I'm not gonna approach it that way. I'm literally just gonna dump thousands of dollars into ads on a music video and call it a day.
yeah.
Whoever likes it,
See, but
likes
yeah,
it.
and like that's
Quote
that
unquote that way.
that could be done, but
But
you know what? I could do that eventually. Like eventually, after as I keep doing what I
the
do.
whole like videos of you performing and shit. That's key. That's
Eventually,
super, like,
for example, like I could go.
that's super. Just like
I could
if you on
drive
the
out. I
stage,
could drive out to an area, set everything up. Could get some camera guys, get some dancers or whatever, and I could just like film a video. You know, like I could do that. I
you
could
could.
get like drone footage, flying around and shit.
What I'm gonna do this year. Hold on, I'm trying to find my What I'm gonna do this year, I'm about to throw my own show
Yeah,
so I can actually get some because as a rapper, beginning rap, you can get shows, pay for a slot, but it's just like as people, you can get your friends show up, people show up, but it's just like people are kind of just showing up for the rapper. They kind of say kind of support whatever. Like basically, I'm trying to get like a little 50 people show, 50 person show in a venue, like a little venue and shit. Cool lights, Jdaflame style aesthetics in the background.
yeah,
Do the shit a certain way in Ableton. I'm trying to perform out of Ableton and shit, basically. Beat control everything and shit.
yeah.
Record it, get that type of they call it press footage. If you can get that type of that was big for like DJing, like actual footage of you performing and shit.
hmm
Yeah, you're 100% right for that and shit. Because that shows that like you lit.
I mean,
That shows
that's
you out, you know what
that's
I'm saying?
like
You out there, you know what I'm saying? You turning up and shit. 'Cause
well,
most
everyone's
motherfuckers do
look.
that.
I know everyone started with streaming DJ sets. Like that was like the easiest, like no brainer. Like of course I'm gonna if I'm a DJ, obviously I'm gonna stream my shit. Why the fuck not? The problem is that's when copyright hits started cracking down like really hard. Like
I'm like, I actually like to be honest, I like when that because I'm like, why the fuck y'all playing these niggas put their heart and their soul in the Fruity Loops and shit. And you think and you getting paid on Twitch
Yeah.
$500.
yo, you don't see,
fuck?
yeah, it makes perfect sense. I get it. You don't see me complain like bitching about it. Like I totally understand it.
You know me, I'm talking y'all the Sagittarius style lit
But because like what I do isn't DJing, you know, like those kinds of videos that I make, that's like just that's me more or less. I mean, yeah, I'll use like samples for drum hits and shit, but fucking it's all native to the instrument. So
I mean, like, there's that, but bro, that's honestly because of Twitch. It's not really because of like 'cause you can DJ. Of course, you can DJ at any venue and just play shit. Technically, if you're technically by
yeah, I know it's not even worth mentioning. I know exactly what you're gonna fucking say. But anyway, but what were you gonna say after that?
hold on. But what was I about to say? I don't know. DJing was fun, bro. For me, at least, like it was easy to you know, just show up. I didn't even have the thing. My biggest issue with DJing was like I started off DJing with the laptop with the controller and shit.
Yeah,
And actual like when you DJing in an EDM setting and shit, like there's CDJs there, so you just gotta bring your USB.
Yeah.
I don't know if you did it. I don't know if like that's how you did it. And it's just like I didn't have what I'm saying. I had to go to like Sam Ash Guitar Center to practice and stuff.
yeah,
I
that's
used to
the
be in Sam Ash just like I used to be
no look. Yeah, that's the industry. That's the industry standard. Most like bedroom DJs, they start out by getting like some stupid MIDI controller with their laptop set up because that's like why not? It's the cheapest route to go. You get like a little look. Let me finish. Right, but the industry standard has always been the Pioneer CDJs. You know, it's like most any serious look. All right, any serious club has Pioneer CDJs, which has its own operating system. Is that it has its own like program and functioning.
Exactly.
So what you do like now the thing to do is you have to get Record Box. If you're like for example like to prep for it, you download Record Box, which is like free software. You get the free version, and what you do you create your playlists, right? You set the hot cue points for each track. In your playlist already set up in your software, and then you export that playlist. Not just have the tracks in a folder on your USB, but you export that playlist, and it'll have all the track data like set up. It'll have your fixed grids.
When you got my to this day with the Record Box, to this day I'm ready to show up.
Yeah, so when you So you have everything with your fixed grid. So there, that you do that so that when you get to any industry standard club venue, you just plug right in, and it's not, and you don't have to you'd have to sit there and wait for all the track data and the hot cue points set yourself. You could have
but
it.
that was the that's why. But at the same time, that's why there's like two types of DJs though, because and that was mostly at EDM gear clubs too. Because there was other clubs that just didn't really like. There wasn't CDJs available. It was just the type of it was the controller DJs at like the top 500.
Yeah.
The DJs that play the top.
Dude, trust me, I played on like all the setups. I played on like stupid bootleg standalones. I've played on fucking like bootleg Gemini CDJs. I played on fucking Pioneer CDJs. I played on Pioneer controllers.
I got booked for a festival. This is what, bro. I left the EDM, bro. I was like, bro, I don't know. It was like all these fuck nigga shit. I was probably being emotional and shit, straight up. But I was just like, bro. First of all, I'm in the lineup. I was supposed to like open up some shit at this festival and shit, and then they pushed my slot to like 3 a.m. or some shit. And then like I was playing the hardest shit though. I still showed up 2 a.m. See, that's what I'm trying to say. I don't talk about this shit. I don't be talking about. I showed up at like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. for the EDM. It was like the crowd was like 5 people, 9 people. I'm playing. Dudes like, damn, why didn't we push this slot? Because I'm like, one thing with DJing, bro, I know I said what I said about DJing, but DJing like an art form as well, bro. It's not just like bullshit. Like I had like everything planned out, songs, but like not really too planned out because you know how you have to read the crowd and shit. So you gotta have like 3 other tracks that you'll play after the next track. You know what I'm saying? Like the right key, right? And I'm there listening to the other DJ. I'm like, these niggas trash. They're not even transitioning right. What the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, I know if I was going from 128 BPM to 140 BPM, you gotta slide that bitch in. Not just like you can't just like You get what I'm saying though? You can't just You gotta wait till like the song drop.
Yeah, you have to do a smooth transition. Yeah,
the song drop. You know what I'm saying? Like with the white noise, song drop.
You need a filter suite.
Slowly. I'm like, damn, these motherfuckers ain't even transitioning in this bitch right. And like, I was throwing like, bro, I was like a good DJ, but I'm like, you know what? Fuck this shit. I'm about to get back in the trap mode. I'm back in the trap mode. That's basically DJ Nicole. I listen to certain right now I just listen to tech house, mostly like Adam Bear. So if I DJ, I got some music that I just need to get like 2 songs. If I do I guess one of my other goals, I do want to release like 2. I want to at least drop like a tech house song on like a somewhat like, I don't want to say big tech house label, you know, like an underground one, just to like drop some shit and then like kind of like use that momentum to like DJ if I could further down the line. That's just if it works out like that. I still got like, bro, I got so many projects. So it's just like, but I lost so many projects too, bro. Crazy.
Yeah, I don't know.
In the old.
I believe in actually finishing shit. You know, like that's the thing. I think that's the most important thing as a producer is like you gotta actually, even if it's not the best stuff, you gotta fucking finish it.
I got shit. That's not my issue. It's not finished. I just don't click export. Like, I just don't export the beat and upload it. I literally just.
That's not committing. Then you're not committing. You're not committing to the tracks.
I do. Okay, it's at most I listen to it in Windows Media Player, but I just don't upload it. I make music for myself. Like I literally have like I make music and I'm like, okay, cool. This is what I want to hear for this current moment. Like, it's hard to explain, bro. Like once you can just make music, like at least a specific type of music.
Yeah.
Like if I want to go back to like if I want to listen to my house music playlist, I do got those songs out, but this is like, my end goal with music, and this is just me. My end goal for actually putting it out is just it being professionally mixed and mastered to the highest quality. And that's not me. I'm not a professional engineer, but slowly getting there. But at the same time, though, I would say the standards of engineering and mixing and mastering has went down. I don't care how subjective someone might say that is.
I don't think the standards went down at all.
Or what's acceptable. It depends on what world you're in. If you're in an EDM world, those producers mix and master their own shit.
First of all, the real problem with mixing and engineering standards now is everything is mixed a lot louder. We're in a loudness war. But because if you want things to be louder, then it has to be of a higher fidelity. Because that means if you think about like a fully zoomed in picture, if it's low resolution, it's gonna look like blocky fucking pixels. It's only through like really high, high definition through high definition processing, then you could actually make out the details. So
The
to
loud
make
was more me.
so to make music that loud, it has to be like technology has to get better. And the reason why they're pushing music to get louder is because the technology did get better.
It sounds better, bro. Because I was comparing my beats to beats on Beatport, or no, BeatStars one time. I'm like, why did their beats sound much louder and shit? And I finally uploaded it, and then their shit was just playing it louder because it was in my beat and the beats I was uploading was the same loudness. I was like, what the fuck? But the loudness war was a because that was a big thing 2015, 2013, 14ish. I was like, how come my shit isn't as loud as these motherfuckers and shit? And then at the end of the day, I realized it doesn't really matter. It's all deceiving. Shit sound. You play one of them loud. So trust me, I used to like when I was finding music to DJ and shit. It all come across the songs that had like them big ass, fat ass waveforms and shit, and they were just loud as fuck for no reason and shit. And I'm just like, this shit hurting my ears. Because like, it gets to a point where like, yeah, it sounds loud, but it's just like, it sounds loud when like, it really deceived a lot of people on SoundCloud when they were like clicking from one song to the next. And the previous song was like lower in volume than the next song, and people thought the next song. It was just deceiving the shit out of people, bro. Like it was just bullshit.
Right.
I'm talking about when I say lower standards, I'm talking about actual like I'm not even talking about that's the mastering. I'm talking about the mix, the actual like, and I'm not talking about mainstream shit. I'm just talking about what's kind of like acceptable, in terms of like, at least in the rap world and shit. It really doesn't like matter too much. I don't think.
Well, yeah, really because it's always been a part of the charm, right? Like we're talking about music that used to be made off of layering tape tracks and shit, and then you just have like a stupid, like shitty, low quality toy microphone, and then you just go hard on it, and it still sounded good, you know. So that's one of the reasons why producers love rap, because you could get really creative when it comes to the production of it. But you know, like
as long as it doesn't destroy there is a certain extent to mixing and mastering, as long as it doesn't destroy your system. Or as long as it doesn't sound like bullshit. Because when I first started producing trap, like I was over mixing my 808s and shit, mixing them too loud and shit. And you can't even hear none of the beat and shit in the car. That shit was funny as hell.
Yeah, I mean, I've been looking at making dance tracks, because like, yeah, you could check off all the boxes, right? Is it mixed to a certain standard? Check. Does it have a bass? Check. Does it have a drop? Check. Does it have good transitions between parts? Check. Does it have a break? Check. Like, yeah, you could check off all those standard boxes, right? But then like, after you check those boxes and then you still try to make your own original good sounding track, at that point it becomes a lot like dancing, like a ballet or like a dance routine. Because in a dance routine, when it comes to like, say like, as an example, like when dancers compete, they'll give them like a program, like a short program. It says you could do whatever you want for your routine, but your routine has to include a spin, a double Twizzler, this and that, and they give you a list of criteria to get judged on. But you could, yeah. But as long as you follow that, you can make it whatever you want. Now I'm viewing it like that, right? So what are the different ways I can make this routine dance so that it's going to look like wow, and it's going to look beautiful. It's going to
for you to stick out, basically, because you can make there's 100 house music songs that
exactly. So it's like so now I gotta stop thinking like I gotta stop thinking in terms of like quality and shit. Like I gotta start thinking in terms of like.
So at one point, like I remember, like 2012, there's like 2000. Let's just say 2011, 2012. There's 100 progressive house songs. You know what I'm saying? There's 100 of them. But out of 10 of them, I know these 10 songs are from Avicii. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I know these 10 songs are from Blaster Jackson, based on that specific sound that they design. Either they design or they're camp created, because that was a thing too. You get what I'm saying though? And that's the whole aspect. Even like Dead Mouse, like I knew their specific you know what I'm saying, there's specific melody there's specific like sounds that Dead Mouse had that was identifiable. I freaking lit right now. You can identify in his songs and shit and know it's Dead Mouse basically.
Yeah, but Dead Mouse and Avicii were a little different, because Avicii,
well, I'm talking about like, you know what I'm saying, that's just two different even styles. They're two different styles, but I'm just giving examples. Until it gets to a point until the masses can easily imitate it, that's when those same people move on to the next sound. That's why Avicii dramatically hopped onto the country music. I remember first seeing Avicii drop all this country music, house music shit. I was watching the Ultra Music live stream. He first dropped like so wake me up when it's all over. When I'm eyes, he dropped this shit for the first time, and the whole chat, the Ultra Music Festival chat was everyone was like making fun of it and shit, right?
Yeah.
This first time this type of shit came out, and then like 2 years later, every like everyone's like making music like this and shit. But it's just like you can like shit was identifiable for a second. I think that's one of the biggest things in music. That balance of when you're trying to make money from music, but also trying to be innovative. The innovative aspect is like a whole like what you just said. Like you're a ballet. This all has to fit in ballet, but that whatever you want aspect, that's the gray area aspect. You can't teach people. That's the metaphysical aspect of it. Like even like reggaeton, Spanish music, like it has to have that to be reggaeton. But the creative aspect, the do whatever you want aspect, that's when it actually, that's the shit that's like, you get what I'm saying? You can imitate people who make cookie cutter, go cookie cutter mode. You can release a house song. You can make a cookie cutter house song and get signed. You know what I'm saying? You can have that melody that goes dun 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 dun. You know what I'm saying? Every house, I hope you know that melody. I hope I did it right, but you can include that in a song, release it, like, you know what I'm saying? But it's just like that creative aspect, like Skrillex, Scary Monsters, and Nice Sprites.
Yeah.
Compared to every other dubstep producer at that time, Scary Monsters and Nice Sprites was crazy. That shit was crazy.
I guess I didn't really give a shit about dubstep because that's not the kind of dancing. That's not the kind of dancing I was into.
I remember. Okay, so I remember you mentioned Wolfgang Gartner.
What?
You ever listen to Wolfgang Gartner?
Probably.
Producer.
Probably. I mean, look.
Because you talked about one time, he had a specific sound. I just want to. What I'm trying to point out is these people had specific sounds that made them pop off and shit. Like I want to hear this type of person. I want to hear this type of person.
I mean, because we got to remember we're talking about dance music, right? So if you don't talk about the dancing too, it's like it's kind of like a moot point. So when it comes to dance music, like yeah, I could probably get into making fucking drum and bass and dubstep and all that shit. The reason why I stick to like certain things and certain things that I like is because when I go to raves, I like looking at different types of dancing. You know, like I like looking at the best drum and bass dancers and watch them cut it up. I like looking at the best shufflers to house music, which is why I love making house music. Like, you know, like yeah, it's sometimes it's fun like looking at people headbanging to dubstep music, but it doesn't really
I'm not really talking about a specific genre. I'm
saying that's my criteria is I know I'm making dance music, so it's made to be pumped and danced to. So it's like unless you're talking about like, oh yeah, this would get people fucking moving, it doesn't really matter if we're making dance music. I mean, otherwise
there's so many different even types of like a lot of the house music I like they didn't even play in
I know, and it's such a shame, and it's so crazy.
I don't even mean because the style they do. I don't mean because I know I mentioned about region based earlier, but I'm just talking about more so they just don't. You know what I'm saying? Like dance music isn't just like a lot of people just listen to this shit just cause.
I know, but I'm saying it's like that should be the priority when it comes to criteria and checking off a box. The first box is make sure it's good to be danced to. Make sure people could dance to it. I mean, yes, dubstep is whatever, but I would hardly consider that dance music. You can't really. I mean, yeah, you could dance, you could hop around and bang your fucking head to dubstep. I get it, and you know what? That's fun sometimes, especially when you're drunk.
I mean, it just depends on what like. Because there's a lot of people.
Look, I'm just saying, it's like the original. Like you go to raves, you go to raves to fucking dance generally, right? So it just sucks. Like when you're like a hardcore raver and you want to fucking roll and dance, and then you go and then like you're like cruising on like dance beats, and then out of nowhere this fucking asshole starts dropping dubstep tracks, and you're like, great, he fucking ruined it. You know, we were all like,
I don't care about dubstep too.
And I'm talking about good dancers. Like I like watching good dancers and dancing with good dancers.
I don't care about like that's why I like dubstep. It was more so like because I like the creative aspect of it. I was more so judging like head bob, but like at the same time I like the crazy. I thought the drops were intricate.
I know, but I guess it's like when you go to like city raves, when you go
boring to me. Rhythm is like I like rhythm, and I could have got like there was a point I got into making rhythm just because you know it was popular at the time, but I really don't really. I think it's basic, but like house music, trance, even hard style, how it's faster.
Yeah,
Even though you can still there's people still like you can still like dance to
it's
it in a
jump
way.
style. It's called jump style and
Drum
shuffling.
and bass. I mean, I don't know, bro. I feel it.
I mean,
I feel like
drum and bass has its own
the
dance
way
too. Drum and bass is called X stepping.
some of that I don't really dance to it, but I don't know. I just like driving at high speeds.
I'm just saying it's like it's dance music. Yes, yo, I'm saying like all of this music has great uses. You could be chilling, studying, listening to this shit. You could be driving, you could be listening to it. You could be riding your bike and listening to it. But I'm saying this shit is built for dancing to. You know, because dancing is a primal act. Dancing is a beautiful, physical, primal, musical act. It's making music.
The whole aspect of like listening to dubstep more so for the advanced aspect compared to like
I know you,
that's
but
rap
you,
music. That's like
but
rap music. That's how like people will gravitate towards trap music, trap beats.
yeah,
Because
that's
like
great. That's great and all.
twerk,
You know what I
whatever.
like? You know what I like? This is why I like electro house, because in electro house you'll have specific parts from other genres. Like in a dubstep track, I mean in an electro house track, you'll have a dubstep breakdown, or in an electro house track, you'll have a trap breakdown. It's all in electro house. Electro house manages to fit
You
all
got
sorts of.
you really I would say because you're just looking at it for your dance your dance perspective though.
Yeah, I mean
Like, in general though.
because that's what it's made for. It's dance music, you know.
No, because like even bro, it's like that's even like rap music and like boom bap rap compared to trap rap. Like trap rap, people you like it's more dance like people like dance to it, but like boom bap rap is more so like people are listening to a rap like people are more in, like people are listening to it just to hear like the
Yeah,
rap.
I know, but I'm not talking about rap music. I'm talking about like electronic dance music.
Comparing that to dub like comparing that to dubstep as well.
Well, dubstep gets lumped in with electronic dance music. Even if it's not really dance music, it gets lumped in there. So, like I said, you would have nights where you'd be cruising on some like good dance music.
Too, bro.
What?
People be dancing to dubstep. Too.
I know, yeah, but it's not the same. You know, it's not the same as like actual.
You just don't like it. You
No, it's not the same as.
You be mad as fuck when they drop dubstep. I feel it.
I'm not mad. You know, it's like for example, I go to
Yo, I
dubstep.
get pissed.
I go to dubstep
I
shows.
get mad at DJs.
I go to dubstep shows.
I hate what and one thing I hate about going to
I don't want to sit here and like bitch about it. Like,
bass clubs like with the CDJs because it's like at most you're still gonna hear a consistent genre. I hate going to like bars and clubs and they just play like they'll play like rap music and they'll play Taylor Swift and then they'll play like techno hardstyle and then they'll play like rap music. You know what I'm saying? I'm in gangster mode. I want to rob niggas now. Oh, now I'm in player mode. You know what I'm saying? Now I want to you know what I'm saying? What the fuck? Like, bro, that shit be pissing me off. But like dubstep, I don't know. You really have to like, and that's the thing. People don't. A lot of people don't really look at music like that. That's my whole thing about like creating a scene and creating a because it's like if you're able to like you DJ, so you already basically know. Like when you DJ, you don't just play random shit. Like you're not just gonna play. You're not gonna play some shit just because it's on the radio. You might play a remix of it, electro house. You might play electro house Taylor Swift remix with her vocals on some shit.
I mean, I don't know. Like my tastes have definitely changed since my electro house days. I'm into like a lot of garage bassline music, like UK garage and bassline. I'm into a lot of bass house. I love bass house.
I've been making UK. I'm in like a UK garage, so like like a couple weeks ago.
Hell's yeah.
I can say that you got to that.
Yeah, I'm into I'm still into like techno, like hard techno. I think that shit's pretty ill. You know, it's like the thing is like there's no end to this shit out there. It's just what's relevant to me right now, basically, because
that's what you said. If you're making there's making music and then there's just like actually trying to do something with the music, rather it's like get famous or even something as simple as being a piano teacher.
well, I want to make good dance music. I want people to dance to my shit.
You know, if someone bad, if they want to be a piano teacher, you know what I'm saying, or a guitar teacher, you know what I'm saying, like if they just want to make money from teaching people how to play guitar, piano, or music theory, some shit, music production. But what was I gonna say? I think the main thing is like what your goal is. You can just make music. I just like making music and talking about making music. Rather, I'm trying to make money from it or make some shit or not. But I do know that some shit does like recording people, for example. That's labor.
Yeah.
make it like if you're like some people, some aspects of music is somewhat labor. I'm not gonna like act like that doesn't exist. Like, and so in these days, like in the landscape, like I said, martial arts, samurai mode. This nigga samurai mode. Other shit too. Just digital. You can do a whole bunch of shit yourself. But
I mean,
if
that's like the future, dude. Like, you got to be more self-sufficient as a creator,
well,
first
that's
of
the
all.
thing, though, and I don't think just as a creator. I think that's you got to be self-sufficient in general, in the new world, and the new. That's why the whole world splitting apart type of thing. Going back to that, discussing that, the world's bro. It's just like my what was I gonna say? I feel like I'm lucky from my upbringing and shit. That's why I asked you if you used a computer before. When I got my first job, actually like being on a computer base, and realized a lot of people I started with was just like on a computer, like da da da. I was a computer, like I was just like, damn. And the computer is just like, you play what type of video? You play video games? I play first person shooter video games and shit, and I still like I play people. I play Overwatch. Team up with people and you play against real people and shit. And it's like you even realize with that, damn, there's a whole bunch of dumbasses and shit.
Honestly, I think the internet was more of a waste of time for me until I learned how to do like there was when the internet really changed for me. It's when I just learned how to learn how to do shit on YouTube. Like when I realized that everything I don't know how to do that I wish I knew how to do,
That's
and
what I've been doing all my life, bro.
exactly.
That's literally how I kind of like.
See, I didn't do that. I didn't realize that until like much later in
I was
life. I think I was like
like,
17 or something.
People be getting mad at, bro. I was like 16, 17. I was depressed as fuck. I was like crawling in my skin, depressed as fuck. And I'm like, damn, I can just look up psychology shit on the internet. You know what I'm saying? See what popped on that shit. See what's popping off. And then that's why I be like, bro, it's just like I looked up so much shit like internet, like even getting money and shit to the point like this is the biggest cheat code hack, and there's such a split in people that use the internet to actually be self-sufficient versus people that don't. It's like a huge like gap.
Yeah.
And it's just like I don't know, bro. It's really like, and it's kind of like I don't look at it as like a bad thing because it's like it's a different type of consciousness. But you kind of have to leave like old ways to think type of traditionalism to even get to that point and shit.
All right, so I was
like,
I wasn't talking about like necessarily self. I just meant simple shit, like like how to edit videos, how to put together modular synths, how to fucking even learn how to drive stick shift. I remember one time I had a flat tire, and on the fly I just went on YouTube like, oh, how do I actually change this flat tire? And it showed me the exact make and model of the car.
That's what I'm trying to say, bro. That's real shit.
Yeah.
That's the whole point.
Yeah, but that's like shit that anybody could do. What when it gets dangerous is like what you were talking about before, like psychology and like other shit, like really specialized fields.
Fuck it, bro. If we got no choice, hold on, bro. You can't really like, hold on, bro. Because at the same, I know it depends on like
practical skills are good, but but eventually, like when you go down too many rabbit holes, when you get down too many like rabbit holes, like you could start following some like really bunk sources of information.
Depend on the person, because I've been like. I was on the internet when I was like 10 years old, 11 years old, and I was like talking to adults on RuneScape, World of Warcraft.
Yeah,
and it's like normal, like it's just like normal, like you know what I'm saying? It's like, what's up? Okay, I was in a guild on World of Warcraft. That shit was crazy, like role play. I was on a role play server, Cenarian Circle, World of Warcraft and shit.
Yeah,
and like, bro, it was like adults and that shit. I remember this. I don't know. I just remember a nigga Hurricane Katrina happened. I remember some dude's house got. I don't know. He's like, "Oh, I gotta go, y'all. I don't know when I'll be back." I don't know, bro. I met all types of motherfuckers, bro. But like, I don't know. This probably depends on the person too. Because I mean, yeah, I guess the internet is a big rabbit hole.
Yeah, I feel like, but when it comes to practical skills, that's what you could like.
What I mean, when I'm talking about practical shit, I know the psychology aspect. That's one thing. But when I say practical skills, I mean like. There's so many industries that are like operating based upon the fact that people don't want to go on the internet and learn how to do it themselves, or it's just like just pay someone to do it. YouTube will teach someone how to change a tire quick. Just type in your car, make your model and shit. YouTube teach you how to change your oil.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, I was saying that.
How to
YouTube will teach you how to play guitar. You like everything, all the practical skills.
But it's just like what was I gonna say? I don't know. There's a huge gap in like, because that's a different state of consciousness going to the internet for stuff like that versus like, I don't know, maybe in person. I deal with it every day at my job, sort of. I don't know. It's kind of weird. I mean, not weird, but it's just like, because it's like, how should I explain it here? Like a lot of people are, I guess, are used to like in person interaction. Oh, let me go sign up for this type of, you know what I'm saying, school, some shit. But you kind of have to have a self sufficient drive too, before you look to the internet, I guess. But
I mean,
that's all based upon like independency.
I think certain things you do have to have in-person training for, like martial arts. I don't recommend anyone like go on YouTube and learn martial arts from YouTube. Like that's something you have to actually go in person for.
I mean, I don't want to say it's like possible, but me and my cousin did boxing. And we were training with each other and shit. He competed in a fight. He was really good at boxing though. But we were just using drills from YouTube, boxing drills from YouTube daily and shit.
Well, if you have someone that knows what they're doing, that's one thing. You know, as long as they know.
No, we didn't, bro. It's all from scratch, YouTube.
All right, well,
because it's consistent YouTube drills and shit.
Well, if it's good for fitness, but I don't know if it's actually good for.
But it gets to a certain point.
Yeah.
Professional. When it comes to professional, like if you want to professional, yeah, you're gonna have to have a trainer, master, sensei, somebody.
Yeah, I don't think anyone should learn how to fight off of YouTube. That's like the stupidest fucking thing you could do. Like stupid.
No, it's not stupid at the base level though.
I mean, for fitness, it's one thing, but for actual application
you can literally, you can literally look at some boxing introduction to boxing for like a month, 1 to 3 months on YouTube. Introduction to boxing, do all those drills. Introduction to Krav Maga, 1 to 3 months, and just like go to your local gym that has a punching bag, and you're automatically going to be better than most people at fighting.
I'll tell you, you know what?
People not better than people that professionally fight though.
No,
not better than
I think
people that have trainers and go to the. You get what I'm saying though?
No, I think if you do that, I think
most
like
people that don't. What was you gonna say?
I think you'll get, first of all, you'll probably be able to beat, if you consistently practice like that, like exactly what you're saying, you'd beat up anyone who is completely untrained probably, you know, just because for the simple fact that you'd be fitter than them. But you would get fucked up really quick. No, look, you get fucked up really quick by people who just have like, say, a month of actual consistent training from someone who's actually come from like, who was trained by a professional themselves and then became a professional. You know, anyone who's done that for a month will probably tune your shit up. Two, are people who are untrained but who fight a lot. Like if they're more experienced than you at fighting and you're both like untrained by a professional, generally speaking, the guy with more experience is going to fuck you up. That's why the most like efficient form of like learning is from an actual professional. And I just don't recommend people like,
you got no choice. You got, bro, if you're at the basis level.
Yeah, but it's like you're talking about techniques involved with hurting another human being. You got to take that for what it is, and you can't just like treat that as like, oh yeah, I could just learn this off of YouTube tutorials.
Bro, even the way you hold your hands up and defend yourself.
I get that, but like the thing is, like when you train incorrectly, all you do is reinforce bad habits. So like, let's say you train that way for so long, and then you find like an actual teacher.
I was gonna say that too. Unless you just develop habits that are just bad.
But that's so easy to do. That's like the easiest thing to do when it comes to like practicing a martial art is to develop like the wrong habits. Too, but I'm saying, but this is why it's extra important with martial arts. It's not like anything because, again, like I said, you're talking about hurting another human being. So you have to do this with proper technique, proper supervision. Otherwise, you're either going to hurt another person by mistake or hurt yourself more likely by mistake. Everything has to be like under like strict, like proper supervision when it comes to like learning how to fuck someone up. Honestly, I mean, it's like it's a no-brainer. You know, you shouldn't put that much thought into like that. Like that's like it's just that goes without saying.
I'm just saying, bro. There's certain aspects.
I mean, there's for example, like there's people.
Fight, bro. Either way, fight.
There's experience. Like if you're just automatically like in situations like
street fight, people pull out a knife or a gun.
I know, yeah.
Jump in.
Which is all the reason why you got to be trained not to do stupid fucking shit.
No, you just gotta be like, keep it moving. MMA, anything that's actual structure fighting, judo, niggas with swords, karate niggas, anything that's actually in the ring, that's all fair.
Well, I don't do what I do to train like to fight really. I do what I do because it's enriching for me mentally and it's good for my body. It makes me more confident in
You
myself.
don't be like competitive. You don't be like do it competitively though.
I did it once. Remember, I did that tournament, and
I don't, yeah, I mean like just in general though. Like you wouldn't do it like just do it again though. You never
well,
know, bro. What if you pop off in the Olympics and shit?
that's not an Olympic sport.
Yeah, from New York. What? It's not Olympic. They don't got no Olympic like I swear they got what? They don't got like no Olympic sword fighting and stuff.
It's not for kendo or Japanese sword fighting. No.
Nah, bro. I don't know, but I would be like, because that's the only one thing I would say. Is
No,
just like,
that's first of all, no, I'm not. That's not. I don't do it for prestige for like winning tournaments and competitions and shit. What I
I don't
care
really
about,
mean, like,
what I
I don't
care
really
about
mean
with
that.
martial arts is I want to be the best that I could. Just like music, I want to be the best that
No,
I could be.
I don't really mean that aspect. I mean more so just like, so I like.
I'm
I
telling you
would, I
my,
would,
I'm telling you my
well, I
actual
would say
goals
this,
with like,
well, I was about to say, I just like, I don't know, I just enjoy it, just like, just in general. Like, I get the same. Like, if I go to the basketball court and play basketball with some random people, like
yeah,
5v5, that same like, just funness I get, even if I lose and shit. This is like, I don't know, just like playing sport. I get that same aspect of just like hop on Overwatch, play competitive rank. It's just fun and shit. That's
I,
all.
I,
That's the aspect I like about sports and shit as
I
opposed
will
to
say
just
this though, like if for example, like I never really trained for the specific purpose to be able to like fuck people up, but
yeah, yeah.
I've been doing it for enough time now where it's like if there were like five dudes in front of me and you gave me like a wooden sword, I would be able to like I'd probably be able to do some serious fucking damage, you know?
Yeah.
I'm just saying like it's you just got to like follow your fundamentals, rely on your basics, you know, keep your distance, proper distance and keep your balance.
Hey, hold on, you can be the sensei, right? You can be
What?
a sensei.
No,
You can teach somebody else. I'm about
yeah,
to slide through.
no,
I'm
it's
about to
like
slide through. You about to teach me. You about to teach me kendo. You about to teach me.
I don't do kendo.
Or what do you wait? What do you do? What's
I,
the specific? What's the name of it? My bad.
Kenjutsu?
Kenjutsu.
Yeah.
My bad. He's like she's like you messed up the name first.
Well, do
Yeah.
means first of all, do means way. Jutsu means art. So ken means sword. There's sword art and there's the way of the sword. Kendo is more like a sport. It's like fencing. You know, you use those long bamboo swords and you
Oh,
wear that shit. Kenjutsu is just learning how to straight up like sword fight, like kill with swords, you know?
Kenjutsu. I know you said there was one. You found the one near me. I mean, you sent me that link, but my schedule is fucked up.
I
Fuck
don't
it.
know.
If I quit my job. Quit my job.
It's
Coming
it's really
Kenjutsu.
it's obviously not for everyone, you know, because like it takes like a certain degree of commitment to get like to a certain level of skill at it. It's like how much you're willing to
That's
put
all I
into
ask.
it, and you also have to come at it with the right mindset. You know, like too many people come at it like thinking it's going to be something, and then it turns out to be something completely different, and that's what filters a lot of people out. They come in with these weird expectations of what they think like sword fighting would be or sword
The
arts
thing
would
is
be.
like anime. The thing is like
They're looking for like sometimes people are just looking for like physical stress killers, and then meanwhile like they realize it's a lot more like mentally strenuous than
instead of
physically.
lost the game, they mad at they mad at their wife. They mad at their job. they gotta they try to. I feel it, bro. I don't know. I don't. It was always something that I thought was cool because even you met the fencing. There was like a fencing school near me. I saw as a kid. I always thought that shit was lit. I like the mind aspect of sports, like even like hockey and shit. I feel like hockey's like super like balanced, like mind, but also physical and shit.
Yeah, I've
I
been
don't
getting
know.
into figure skating too. That shit is nuts.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Like I always thought that was like I want to play hockey and shit, but niggas didn't like hockey. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know.
But like even the games I played, I don't know, and that's an aspect I do like think of too. Like are there, and I think I probably mentioned this in the last podcast. Like are there gonna be? Have you seen the Apple goggles?
Yeah, the
Are there gonna be like
Apple Vision Pro.
yeah, like what type of sports are there gonna be?
I
Like
don't
are there
know.
gonna be like new type of digital, half augmented reality type sports?
People are probably just gonna use it to watch porn all day. You know, like
Probably. That shit's crazy, bro. Like what was I gonna say? And that's just the start of it too. That's just the start of the Apple goggles. Wait till it's like I don't know, bro. I don't even. I feel like I don't know. I don't know. If this is the point where You think they're gonna like force that on people? Like they're gonna make cheaper versions on it? You think it's gonna become like normalized? This everyone's just wearing goggles.
Why wouldn't it be? I mean, if it makes life easier for people, then yeah.
I don't think like, bro, that's fucking crazy.
What?
Make life easier.
No, I mean, if it's
But,
like, if you had cheaper, you don't have to wear, as long as you're not forced to wear the glasses, then what's the problem?
I mean, I was thinking like I forgot what movie I put some random movie on and shit. They're like in the future and shit. Smart house. I'm like thinking in my head like, damn. Wake up in the morning, coffee's already made, everything's digital. House telling me what's popping off in the world, giving me the news. Okay, Jdaflame, the current blah 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 war is happening. This temperature is, you know what I'm saying? Everything lit. That saves me time and energy. And oh, here, Jdaflame, here's your outfit for today. Put this, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's saving me time and shit. So I can have time in my brain and shit and stress less.
You mean optimization?
Jdaflame, I have created you a salmon, broccoli, mashed potato. You know what I'm saying? That shit, like, I'm like, what the fuck? That shit kind of souped up. Fuck it. Motherfucker scared. Oh, they're gonna take all the information and shit. It's already tracked. Everything tracked. You got an Amazon account, bitch. You are everything already. All information tracked. If you got a phone, niggas need to stop. Like everything. Why motherfucker act like people don't understand how technology works? That's my whole point about being on nigga. People don't understand. Like if I get the smart out, like fuck it. I'm not trying to excuse me. That's saving me time and energy from my brain. I can stress less. Right? Outfit picked out, everything. You know what I'm saying? Jdaflame, your stress levels are high. I'm gonna play classical music. Play classic, you know what I'm saying?
Maybe. I don't
I
know.
don't know. You think that's a crazy world to live in?
Not really.
Cause motherfucker tripping about that. But they, what? I don't got. You got an Alexa or Google Home?
I don't know. I don't really care about all that shit. I mean, to me, it's I just
I
do
don't
it.
got that.
I just do
I
what I
don't
like.
really like.
I just do what I like to do. But I don't know. Like as far as like a smart home, I'd like to get rich enough to not need a home. You know, like I'd like to be rich enough to just be on the move. You know, like wherever, whatever I need, I'll get it on the spot.
That's like a super. That's a super. I'm trying to actually like set that type of stuff up right now on my job. It's kind of like I can move anywhere within the U.S., but it's just like when you say on the go, like how often on the go?
I don't know. I'd like to not have to work and just travel. You know, and just be like, yo,
Oh,
like I could
that's
just
everyone's dream, bro. That's everyone.
yeah,
It's possible. Maybe not work. You can do some shit,
maybe.
music, art,
Yeah.
but it's just
Yeah,
like,
yeah. You know, like maybe do something of service to someone. You know.
well, yeah. I mean, that's like I'm just talking about the whole aspect of like freeing up your mind just to have time to like think, do shit that doesn't have to do. Because you got a lot of people are even the whole starting a band thing with people going back to that, bro. That's freaking that shit metaphysical, bro. Like, that shit takes like these days. I don't know how I don't know why like I feel one thing people aren't attracted. I don't. It depends on demographics too. People aren't attracted to that as much. And then people working like two jobs and shit. You can't even get people together to do shit. It's hard for me to find people to collab with over the internet. And then when you do find, and I do collab with people, but it's just like it be time, shit be happening and shit. So it's just like, do want to do that type of shit, but
It's
just
easy.
like,
I guess it's easy for me to collab living in New York because I could just like hit up anyone, like a bunch of friends who do music and be like, "Yo, you want to get together and make a stupid video thing?" And they'll be like, "Yeah." They could just come
no,
over.
I got people that can do it, but it's just like, I don't know. I got friends that we made music and shit, but it's just like got like two separate goals. But hey, at the same time, I do got people I am collabing with.
Yeah.
The last person I was collabing with went to jail and shit. They did some fun shit. But the person I'm collabing with now, we was just at the studio last weekend. I
Yeah.
like one thing I do like is going. I know like the whole do it at your house type shit, but I do like going to the studio, just because I don't know. I just like being in. I don't know. I just like going somewhere else besides my home to make music.
Yeah. Studios. I mean, studios are good, especially if you're because the type of music I make doesn't necessitate a studio. I'm sure if I was making like any bit like actual that involves like real musicians, then
The
yeah, I'd
only
want to
reason
use
why
it.
I go to the studio is just because like, and people say I'm actually about to. I might I might work as a engineer at this studio I go to. And one thing I noticed too, and that's why the whole thing I meant about the quality is like some people hear my music and they tell that I recorded in my house and shit that I mix and mastered myself, and they're like, "Oh, release this. You need to release your music." And I think the mix and master is ass. You know what I'm saying? At least compared to what my standards are for mix and mastering and shit. But now I'm just like, damn, people just accept everything. People just don't give a fuck.
Well, join the club. That's really every producer's kind of thing, right? They're their own worst critic. But with
But the
that being,
only the only reason I go to the studio is just to record, have professional recording and shit, and then I also have a I like running my shit analog. That's just me though. I at the end goal, if I'm going to release music, it has to be professionally mixed and mastered, high quality, professional. That's it. That's just how I am.
yeah, everyone's got their own thing. Anyway, with that, we're pretty much at the time. So, thanks for doing the episode with me, man. Riveting discussion. Good night, folks.
They lit. Have a good night.